Welcome to Under the Plum Bulb podcast. Hi, guys. It's 2/3 of the dream team.
2/3.
Welcome to Under the Plum Bulb podcast, where we're going to talk about Awooos. That's werewolves.
Those things. My Awoooo is not here today, so he's not going to be working through the recordings this time, which is nice.
I mean, if cats could Awoo, I guess that would be a thing, but...
Oh, I'm pretty sure the mic already picked up this little shit's purring, so we'll see.
My cat is sitting in a box right here next to me, so there's that.
Cat box sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. Pillow. Cat box pillow.
God damn it, Dorian! It's too hot for snuggles!
We're Out of the Bob coming at you from the heat. Welcome. I'm Vanity.
I am Ava, and I am so hot. But, like, not in the good way.
I have central AC, so it's hot if I step outside.
God damn, I hate you right now.
But, I mean, think about it. Think about it. Do you want central AC and then a bajillion degrees outside, or do you want not central AC and you're sitting at 86 degrees?
I want central AC at 86 degrees because I don't go outside anyway. And it's too hot to take the dog out for a walk, so he's gonna burn his little peats if I take him out.
Oh yeah, the ground out here, like, they have all these warnings saying, like, make sure you walk your dog on the grass because
like
it's
go cook your eggs on the asphalt to save on your electricity bill or something.
It's 105 degrees outside, so they're like, please don't put your dog on sidewalks.
That's no bueno.
Mm-mm.
But speaking of dogs,
yes, ooh, segues.
So a little while ago, it was a game pack came out for The Sims 4, introducing werewolves to this installment.
Ow!
Vanity hasn't played it yet.
Mm-mm.
I don't think, but I have, and I have opinions. So basically the goal of this episode is I'm going to tell Vanity all about it and maybe try and convince her to buy the pack or not to buy the pack. We will see.
Look, I am firmly on team stop cash grabbing me.
Yeah.
Don't piecemeal buy supernaturals. If you come out with the fairy pack next, I'm riding right at dawn. Like, quit piecemealing my supernaturals. None of them are good enough on their own to have their own game pack. Like, put them all together. That's why you did it before every other time. Because piece by piece, they're kind of, they need their friends.
Yeah, it's never really been piece by piece, but it has been divided up before. In Sims 1, werewolves, like supernaturals, weren't really a thing except for witches. You could be a witch. And with Making Magic, the best expansion ever made, came charms that you could make, and one of those charms that you could make was Beauty or Beast charm, and that basically let you change your costume that you were wearing. It was a costume, basically, kind of. And you could be like a werewolf, you could be like a beast, you could be a fairy, you could be like different things, and like werewolf was one of those, but it wasn't a different life state. It was just a costume, and it would wear off after a while. So it wasn't really a big deal in Sims 2 and Sims 1.
Can you take a small segue to just talk about this werewolf outfit in this red dress?
Oh, that's the female version.
It is atrocious.
Yeah, you had a male version, and the male version was like ripped jeans and like a yellow ripped shirt, and then the female version was like a half ripped red dress.
The male version literally looks like all the dude bros talking about like, their boat shoes to the day. Like, it's like skinny jeans and like
I think he's actually still wearing shoes and she's not.
Oh yeah, because when you transform, your shoes disappear.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's about, but it's a thing. But anyway, that was it. It was cosmetic. It had no effect on Sims interactions with other Sims. Like, the only thing that could go wrong was if you use the Beauty or the Beast charm, and I think we've covered this before, if someone saw you do it, everybody would get donkey heads.
Everybody would get what?
Donkey heads.
I thought you said donkey kicks, and I was like,
no, heads. Donkey heads. Everybody would get donkey heads. So if somebody saw you use it, that was kind of like the spell backfiring. But yeah, so purely cosmetic, no big changes. I think the first real werewolf thing was in Sims 2, where it became a different life state, and it came in the pets expansion. So
Makes sense.
it didn't come with any other supernaturals. However, it was a small part of a big expansion in itself and not a game pack all on its own, which is, you know, decent. You had the whole pets thing that you could work out, and then all of a sudden you could get bitten by a wolf with glowing red eyes. And you could get infected with lycanthropy, and then you would turn into a werewolf. Sims 2 werewolves, not gonna lie, look kind of janky. I don't know what's going on with the head and stuff.
That's the stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
Like, that's what shows up whenever you have, like, those full body, like, body paralysis and you wake up.
Oh, yeah, yeah, sleep paralysis.
That's what shows up. That's the sleep
Yeah.
demon that shows up sitting on top of you, wanting to tell you about your car's extended warranty.
Extended warranty. But that's basically all you do. You had to befriend. So you would have these wild dogs that came to your lot with like glowing yellow eyes, and then at some point you would have one, I think, with glowing red eyes, and that was like the alpha. And if you befriended him, he would give you a nibble, and then you would turn into a werewolf. And they looked hilarious.
I just I'm just trying to figure out, like, why I'm befriending a pack of wild dogs. This seems like a bad idea.
I mean, if I see a puppy on the street, I'll be like, "Hey, puppy, you want belly rubs? You want some scratches?"
A pack of them?
Well, they wouldn't really come in like a pack. It would be like several dogs, like coming up one at a time over extended period of time, if I remember correctly. But that was basically it. If you did transform, you weren't able to change, I think.
Okay, so I'm reading this. It says that Sims become werewolves when bitten by the leader of a pack, a large wolf with his dark coat and heavy build and glowing yellow eyes.
Yeah, that's the one.
The leader only appears at night. It can be transferred using the savage interaction, though that will leave two bad memories: one of losing a fight, and another for becoming a werewolf. Oh, that's a bad memory, but you did it yourself.
Yeah.
It's common for the victim to mourn for a while because of that, despite it's someone to become a werewolf or not. So
Yep.
you're just gonna mourn. You're gonna howl at the moon, talk about how you're a werewolf now. Oh, and they transform every night. Like, you don't have a
Yeah.
choice.
It doesn't have anything to do with like the moon, like the phases of the moon. It is just every single night between 8 p.m. Ever at 8 p.m. and I think at like 6 or 7, depending on when sunrise was, they would turn back.
How inconvenient. What if you're on like a
Yeah.
date and then all of a sudden you just like transform into
Yeah.
a werewolf?
Yeah,
Like,
well that's kind of the thing that came with it. You're shit out of luck.
what if you're like in the middle of woohoo and all of a sudden you're like,
I mean, we don't kink shame in this household.
become a different kind of woohoo?
If that's your yum, I'm not gonna yuck it. But basically, when they transform, their energy shoots up and their hunger plummets. So they become very energetic and very, very hungry. So it might always be a good idea to make sure you have something cooked in advance, because I don't think they can actually. I don't
Cook?
think they can actually cook while they're in that state. And I think their hunger does drop, but it doesn't immediately kill them. But it is good to make sure that you can eat something. If they howl, which is an action that they can select, that you can like select from your werewolf, it basically lowers the bladder need of all non-werewolves in the room by half. So if you only have like a half bladder left, that's it. You pee in your pants.
Okay, so a werewolf howling makes you piss yourself.
Yeah, cause it's scary.
Okay, here for it.
If they do it outside, they can howl to summon wolves to the lot, and they have an irritated reaction, which is the grr interaction, which can be used against other Sims regardless of their relationships, and it will lower his or her bladder need. So if you want to go around town making people piss their pants, you can do that. They can even turn other Sims into werewolves with savage interaction. And then once it becomes 6 a.m., they will transform back every morning. And then every like werewolf specific interaction will be disabled until nightfall.
I'm trying to find the benefits of this. What are the benefits of being a werewolf? Why would you want to be one?
You have a lot of energy. Yeah, Caitlin should be here because I'm pretty sure she's like more knowledgeable of the Sims 2 werewolves than we are. But I think you know your energy. You basically get your entire night to do things like I don't know, raise skills or something.
They will lick their plates clean, but not clean up after themselves. They're messy in the shower. What does that mean? And cheat without instruction while playing chess. I like that the werewolves are playing chess and cheating.
I didn't know that was a thing. Chess playing werewolves, and apparently they're cheaters. I didn't know that was a thing.
You know, all I could think of is the werewolf from. Did you ever watch The 10th Kingdom?
No.
It was like a mini series that came on like on the Wonderful World of Disney at night on Sunday
Oh
nights.
yeah, we didn't have that.
But it's awesome, and I 10 out of 10 recommend. But the werewolf in there reminds me of this Sim. I wonder if like the Sims creators watched The 10th Kingdom and it was like, that's what we're making our werewolf be.
We only had Disney afternoon.
Disney Afternoon.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's kind of like this Disney afternoon was like this. We called it Disney Festival, and it was just like a whole bunch of Disney cartoons in a row. We had Rescue Rangers, we had Darkwing Duck for a while, we had Gargoyles, we had Tailspin, we had like that Aladdin show, yeah, stuff like that.
My boyfriend and I were just talking about that, about how like those TV shows had epic, um, like intros. Like
Yeah.
we were singing the the Ducktales one, and we're like, when Ducktales,
Woo!
right? Ducktales was like
Oh,
epic.
fucking
It had
love
horns.
that.
It had a whole like
Yeah.
brass band section.
Look,
Like,
you can say what you want. I will fight you on this, but fucking Darkwing Duck, his
let's get dangerous. Come on.
yeah, his intro was a fucking bop, and I will die on this
Hmm.
hill. But yeah, we didn't have the 10th Kingdom. We had Darkwing Duck. He verbed your noun and all of these things. I don't.
If you get a chance to watch it, it's on. It's you probably can find it. Like it's a mini series. It's not a cartoon. It's people, but
Oh,
like it's a mini series. Like Merlin was a mini series.
oh, like see, we never had any live action series on the Disney Afternoon. I don't think.
It wasn't like Disney Channel. It was like they would play like have like Sunday night movies on like ABC or something like that. And then like
Oh,
that was one of the and they would be like usually a mini series. So like each Sunday it would be a different episode of it.
oh, cool, cool,
And it would
cool.
come on at like 8 o'clock and I had to beg to stay up to finish watching it because my bedtime was like at 9 and it didn't until like 9:30.
Oh, jeez.
But they did Merlin with Sam Neill. Have you seen that one?
Oh no, I didn't know that was a thing.
It's great. 10 out of 10. But that was one of them that they did. It was like because it's a few episodes. It's like
Yeah,
it's a mini series, and then they did the 10th Kingdom was another one. But if you haven't seen the Sam Neill Merlin, I highly recommend.
I'm gonna put that on the list. See if I can find it.
Anywho, let's see. So The Sims 2 werewolves were more fleshed out. At least they had other things they could do,
True.
and you could be cured. Like if you didn't want to be a werewolf anymore, you have to go get your cure from the obedience trainer.
Yeah.
Puppies.
It's like you had to get the vampire cure from the matchmaker, and you had to go to the obedience trainer if you wanted to be cured. Lycanthropy. That was funny. That was funny to me. I think you could get it from a witch as well if you had apartment life.
I just still think it's weird. Vampires are better at training dogs. That makes sense. They can train a
No,
command and just one
werewolves
off.
are better at training dogs.
Huh?
Werewolves. You said vampires.
Oh, my bad. I mean, vampires might just eat them. I don't know. They, oh, a pregnant werewolf are unable to savage people.
Yeah,
Rude.
that is correct.
They walk differently during the night. They run when bent down, and they can't run or skip until daytime. And they can't fight burglars.
Yeah, which I like. I always thought that was kind of meh.
Could
Like
you
if a
imagine that?
burglar.
Like you're coming to take your giant burgle bag with a little money sign on it, and you're trying to steal my TV off the wall. All of a
Yeah, I
sudden,
will bite your face off.
here comes a werewolf. Like
Just saying.
let's go.
Yeah. So that was fun that you could actually fight a burglar. So I'd be like,
Because you never can as like an actual person. Like why can't it come
you
out with like
put that TV back where you find it, or I swear to God, I will rip your
you better
face off.
put my stove back.
Put that bathtub back where you found it.
They stole the most random things.
So random. I think one of them stole a plant once from
And
it,
they
like
had that
just a
little
plant.
bag with the money on it, and they would just
Yeah.
put all of your shit into that Hermione bag, and I'm just
What
like,
the fuck, my dude? It's a plant.
and then, like, every time they caught them, like, even if they caught them on your front lawn, they'll be like, "We didn't get your stuff back. Here's some money."
Eh. They would also get like a personality change over the course of a few days. Eventually, your Sim's personality would just change completely, and you would get like 0 neatness, 10 in outgoing activeness and playfulness, 0 in niceness, and your body skill will also increase. And they
Oh,
also eat more quickly than other Sims, which is really nice. But they will rarely clean up after themselves and are very messy in the shower. So yeah, it's pros and cons, really.
so they're not nice anymore. Mm.
I don't like the fact that they would get 0 in niceness. Like, if you puppy, you won't say hi to everybody.
Right?
I'd just be like, friend?
Just because they're a werewolf doesn't mean they're not nice people.
Yeah.
Stereotypes.
It's like the same thing in Dungeons and Dragons. Like, some of those monster races were just inherently evil. Just
Mm-hmm.
like, no, don't put me in that box. I refuse to be in this box. If I want to play a drow and I want to be chaotic good, let me.
Let me be chaotic good.
Let me break the stereotype. But they're changing that now, so that's good. The thing that is a thing though is they can't pass the condition on to children unless the child is a teen or older, because then they have to give them the bite. But it can't, like, it's not genetic. So if your like partner is a werewolf and you give birth to a child, that child will not automatically be a werewolf.
What I do like though is that you can summon the leader of the pack
Yeah.
with just be like, you gotta cheat it. You gotta cheat them to come to your house. I still don't appreciate the fact that when they do they just like show up randomly? Like, do you have to like wait? Like
Well,
when you're looking
first,
for like the aliens to go and like you have to wait
yeah,
for them
like
to?
every night, I think there were like signs that you could put in your yard that welcomed strays, and then they had an elevated chance of showing up. But first, like, the wild dogs would show up, and you had to like befriend them. And then once you befriended them, the one with the glowing eyes would show up, and that would be the leader of the pack, and then you had to befriend them. But it
Mm.
wasn't guaranteed that they would show up every night, so basically you just had to stay up every night and hope that they would come. And once they were there, it was like, oh, I gotta go pet you.
But it's definitely easier than waiting for an alien to abduct you.
Yeah. Well, it takes a lot more effort,
I
I
had a
would
sim like
say.
telescoping her little brain out and never had an alien come, and I was really sad about that.
Yeah, that one's a lot more dependent on chance, whereas I think you could actively influence the chance of that leader of the pack showing up if you made friends with like the other
Mm.
strays. Whereas aliens was just like random toss of the coin to see if they would show up or not. But yeah, that is basically werewolves in Sims 2. So now we move on
To my favorite sims.
to Vanity's favorite, Sims 3.
And that is supernatural. Carry on my wayward son.
It was also my favorite Sims 3 expansion. But for me, it was for like the alchemy and stuff of it. I think for you, it's more the supernatural aspect of it.
It was. I love a good fairy. And I will tell you this, like Generations is still my favorite, but Supernatural comes a close second. Okay, so in Sims 3 Supernatural, you got 5 different supernatural types. Like you didn't just get werewolves, you didn't just get witches, you didn't just get vampires, you got werewolves, witches, vampires, fairies, and
Zombies.
zombies. I was like monsters. I can't remember. It was zombies,
Yeah.
and they are like super powerful and like a super social, like supernatural, and they just have like a hidden skill known as the lycanthropy. Like unlike the other, like in Sims 2, where it's like this all encompassing thing that like takes you over. This is just like a hidden skill in the back. When they change, they have like subdued changes in which like become a little more hairy and they gain like fangs and glowing eyes, but they still look pretty much human.
Yeah. You just get like you can like fuck up the nose and the brows and stuff to make them look more like canine. But that was just because, Sims 3 was the first installation in the series where you could like really change the detail that much. But I personally think the Sims 3 werewolves look the best. Fight me.
I will never fight you because Sims 3 is god tier. But so you can make a werewolf in a couple of different ways. You can make one in CAS, because when you open up CAS, if you have not played Sims 3, I'm so sorry for you. But when you open up in CAS, after you have Supernatural, you can see all the little like you can make a human, but they also have all of like the little like pieces, like kind of like have like right now where you can make a vampire or whatever.
Yeah, you can customize their werewolf form, which is super
Also
fun.
customized fairy wings. But anyway,
Yep.
a sim can get a werewolf powers by receiving a werewolf curse from another werewolf, but they have to have a good relationship with each other for them to do this. The werewolf will bite the sim, transforming them into a werewolf in 2 days. It takes like 2 days for the whole thing to complete. And if your sim is bitten the first day of a full moon, or the day before one, it's possible that they will transform when the full moon rises. So like you don't have to wait the full 2 days. Like if they got bit in like the morning and then at night it's like a full moon, they might just change because awoo. And then also you can get the elixir known as the bottled curse of lichen, which can turn you into a werewolf without the whole biting thing. If you're touch
That
averse.
was one of the playthroughs that I did. I played an alchemist who just wanted to change the entire town into werewolves, so I made like a bunch of these bottles and just threw them at everyone I could find.
Because yeah, a sim with level 8 alchemy could mix its elixir at the alchemy station when you got wolf spade, moonstone, and silver in your inventory. And then yeah, so you just make it yourself. Now, the only way you can customize it though is if you do it in CAS or you cheat to get back into CAS and like customize them after that. So these werewolves had abilities, and I liked it. They like a young adult, your lifespan, unless you have it on the super long one, but it's always longer than a normal Sims lifespan, like 1.5 times longer, because werewolves have longer longevity, even though dogs don't. So I don't understand why that was a thing that happened, but
I don't know, supernaturals.
they can get the athletic skill faster than other Sims, and they don't tire as quickly, and they will always win if you start a fight. So you want to have a brawl, they're always going to come out on top. If they become angry at another Sim, they'll transform and they'll fight the Sim until they win, which seems extreme. But their energy will also decay and replenish at a much slower rate than normal Sims. So like you will slow down. You won't be as tired. You won't be tired as fast, but you also can't get it back as fast. But I mean, tomato, tomato. They also can hunt collectibles faster, and their howls can be heard from afar, especially after they transform during a full moon. But your howl can vary, and like so you can like have like in Lion King when he's like, "Rawr!" It's like that, or you can do like the Mufasa roar like one. So it all just depends. Also, can you talk about for a second how in Sims 3 they had different bars for different like supernatural beings?
Yeah, when they transformed, their bars would change because some needs would be
No, I mean like the bar
not
bars.
needed. Yeah.
No, like drinking bars.
Oh, the bars. Oh,
Yes.
because they had the watering hole for the werewolves, and then they had
Mhm.
like the lounge for the vampires.
Yeah, so if you wanted to go meet a supernatural being, you could go hang out at their like kind of haunts or whatever.
Yeah.
The vampires are really snobby though, so like
Yeah, it was all like red velvet and sharp edges and fancy, and then you came to the werewolves and everything was just falling apart.
it
It
was
was
definitely
like in
like
an old warehouse and shit. It was
it's
really
like a
cool.
whole wall dive bar kind of thing, and it was great.
That was really cool.
Okay, so you can transform into a werewolf like at any time. All you have to do is like hit the transform button. It will transform their clothing so they won't rip like in either previous iterations of The Sims because magic. And they can also transform if their mood drops too low. So like basically, you can transform on your own, or if like you get real
Hangry.
yes, then you can transform into a werewolf like, feed me.
If your needs drop into the red, it's like meh. So basically you need to get a Snickers or you're gonna transform.
Exactly. You're not yourself without a Snickers. So they react to the lunar cycle, which I think was introduced with Supernatural Pack.
Yeah.
Like the lunar cycles because basically all of the supernatural beings have the most power during like the full moon.
Yeah, because I remember fairies got like super like vitalized
Mm-hmm.
during the full moon, and when it was like a new moon, so no moon, they'd be like, "Where'd the moon go?"
Exactly. And like whenever it was a full moon, like all any supernatural character you were playing, like the little moon on the little screen would be like all glittery. To let you know that, it's
And like if you were a witch as well, like your casting power would replenish. You always had like energy specifically for using your skills as supernatural, and I think it would replenish more quickly during full moon and stuff. So you were very much dependent on the phases of the moon. So if you wanted to cheat, you could just set the phase permanently to full moon.
but what's the fun in that?
But there's no fun in that because what was one of the downsides that came with the full moon? Zombies. So if you had a garden, you had to make sure that they couldn't get in because otherwise they kill all your plants.
Exactly. Zombies were annoying.
They were, and then you had to like I think if you pre-ordered or whatever, you could get some of those Plant versus Zombies
Yeah.
items that you could put in your garden to like protect them, but they looked so cartoony and out of place. I was just like, no. I'll just put a fence around my garden. Thank you.
The zombies were like foxes or whatever in the Farmville cottage core Sims.
Oh, the foxes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yes, it's annoying. I hated them. I was like, this is the worst thing ever. Also, I never made a zombie.
I just put my chickens behind a fence and just went like, lock.
Exactly. That's how my chickens are too.
Just your household.
But I never played a zombie. I never made a zombie because I feel like they just didn't have any good like reasons. But anywho, so the Awoos, so they can do all that fun stuff when it's the full moon. If they transformed in their natural form in the full moon, or when the moon is dropped drastically, the mood, not the moon,
Yeah.
they will get a module. They'll get like a feral change
And
module
that's
movement.
one that you couldn't get out of, right? That's you had to wait until the moon was gone until it was daytime before you could change back. Otherwise you could always like change back a will.
Yeah. So
But not with
basically,
this one.
if you transform them yourself, like it's fine. But if you get transformed automatically, i.e., full moon status, or because you are hangry, then you can't go back. You're stuck. So, pro tip: if you know the full moon's coming, go ahead and just transform real quick, so that you can also just kind of transform back. But okay, so werewolves and pets. They frighten Sims and build negative relationships with them by sniffing them.
Can't be dead.
Butt sniffs inappropriately.
You could always see the Sim's face like, what the fuck are you doing, man? Bob, come on.
They can growl at Sims, or they can complain about and other Sims complain about their shedding, which is hilarious to me. As a person who sheds from her head, I get it.
Hmm?
And then other Sims will whack them on the nose with a newspaper, like they're a bad puppy.
Yeah, but don't do that to your puppies, though. That's not cool.
It really isn't.
No, it doesn't help.
They will scratch furniture, and they'll get scolded by the owner of the lot for acting inappropriately. They can also bite other Sims, making them werewolves. And then if they have the alpha wolf lifetime reward, they can have the terrorizing howl, where they howl and make people scared. But also, people can actually like the werewolves. Like you can make them not annoying to you. I just feel like they make the werewolves like bad puppies.
I don't know, man. I always combined my werewolf with a witch, with the alchemy skill, because one of the things that the werewolves could do was go out and gather collectibles that you could use for alchemy, and they'd come back with like bugs and metals and gems and stuff. So whenever it was like nighttime and they would transform, I just send them out to scavenge, and they would come back with like a ton of collectibles to use for alchemy, and my witch and my werewolf always got along real good. So
I bet they did. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours.
yeah,
I got some, flea collar. They can play fetch and belly rub at werewolves,
yep.
which again, hilarious. But others, werewolf to werewolf, like they form packs, but they have to have a good relationship with them to form packs. But you don't have to be in the same household to form a pack with another werewolf. Like you won't move in with them; they'll just be part of like your fans, I guess. My Sims never had a pack because I like to lone wolf status it up. So my Sims never did that, but you can. Once sizable pack has been like constructed, a werewolf will be appointed like the alpha wolf, and they're the leader of the pack. But it doesn't really do anything. It just means that you guys can hunt for collectibles faster. But being an alpha werewolf, just its title. It just means that you have the title. So if you really want to be the leader, then make yourself the alpha werewolf and make yourself
If
feel
you
better.
want to be an alpha, get Sims
Mm,
3. Can make your dream come true.
yay. Ugh. Um, I think that I'm just an alpha male. I will
Yeah, no.
piss on you. Stop.
Don't give me that alpha male bullshit. The alphas, they provide for the pack, so unless you have a sleeve of Oreos in your fanny pack, don't come
Don't
at me
come
with
for
that
me, my
alpha
guy.
bullshit. Give me a juice box and some cheesy crackers, and then you can be my alpha.
Exactly. So, in their natural form, the werewolves can howl at the moon, but only at nighttime. They also hunt solo at any time, and they can destroy your furniture, like their own furniture too. They just feel the urge to, which makes me laugh because when I first got the pack, I remember I made like a household with each one of the little supernatural characters, except for zombies. I had no choice. I had no need for them.
Well, you can't make those. You need to make them with an elixir.
I just didn't want one.
No, they're useless.
So useless. So I made a household that each household had one supernatural in it, whatever. My witch's household was amazing. She had that the living room that had like the step down.
Mm-hmm.
It had like the step down living room. She had that living room. It was so cool. That she had a little area for her magic spell book. And she had her different wands on the wall. Like I loved her house. Anyway, but my werewolf, all of their furniture was just garbage. Like I had to have them scratch everything, so it just all looked like trash in there, and I loved it.
I mean, it's an aesthetic. That seems to be like the default werewolf aesthetic is just like trash. We'll get to that. We'll get to that in Sims 4.
Oh, good God.
But yeah, I'm sorry, man. They were great. I really liked
Yeah.
them.
Oh, and you can pass on werewolfery to your future generations.
Yeah, there's I think there was like a 50-50% chance.
So unlike beforehand, where you get to be a werewolf and then it didn't happen, your kid was never a werewolf, you can pass it on. And little kid werewolves were hilarious. So
The fucking toddlers were adorable. They would
they were great.
howl, they would scratch at furniture. They couldn't transform yet, but to see this little toddler just going at the furniture and then the mother going ah!
It made me happy. So
I think they could only transform when they became a child.
yes.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a teen. Was it
No,
a teen?
they could transform into their wolf form when they were a child, but some of the interactions, I think scavenging and stuff, was something that you could only do when you were a teen.
Oh, okay.
Then you would get all the ability, because I don't think you could turn other Sims when you were a child. That was
No.
something you could only do from teen onward. Should you imagine this little kid coming up, you biting you in the arm, going chomp? What the fuck, kid?
Just right in the calf muscle,
right?
You can cure werewolf, but why?
Right? They bring home the shinies.
They can also be asked by their romantic partner to forsake their powers.
Bitch, if you can't take me at my grr, you don't.
Exactly. I would be so offended if someone asked me to forsake my werewolfness.
This is who I am, Susan. If you can't deal with it, then fine.
You knew who I was when we entered our relationship. So why must you make me change now, Susan?
Yeah.
Why? So when the werewolf gets hungry, it's hungry like the wolf, which every time I saw that, I would be like, and I'm hungry like the
Oh god, I kept getting
wolf.
flashbacks to PlayStation 2 SingStar. Ugh, that was wonderful. I think we've been over this. I think you all know how much I hate SingStar. It is the worst.
So, oh yeah, werewolves can only howl if there is a moon. They cannot howl if there's no moon, which is really kind of funny to me. Makes sense, but also kind of funny. There's no limit to how long a werewolf can be in their werewolf form, though. So, like, the townie population can just hang. If your town is gonna be whole townies full of like people in werewolf state.
Yeah. Can confirm. Can confirm. I have been that bitch.
But werewolves, if they're in their werewolf state, don't sleep very well. Even in like the most expensive beds of all the comfort and stuff, they just don't really sleep very well.
They're nocturnal. They're like, I'm not supposed to be sleeping right now. I'm supposed to be going out and getting fireflies and diamonds for my lover.
And scaring people.
Yeah.
A female werewolf cannot become pregnant while in her werewolf form.
Nope.
And she cannot transform while she's pregnant. So there you go.
Because honestly, why would you want to add that discomfort on top of everything you're already going through?
Every supernatural being had a different like color around their like friendship bar.
Yeah.
You know? In the relationship
They're
panel.
like their little portrait.
Uh-huh. And werewolves were brown.
Yeah.
And now we move on to what in the Disney Channel. What in the Disney Channel horrible TV show is this picture?
Let me tell you. Okay, so
I feel like they're gonna break out in song or something.
It's
like some
a
dance
screenshot.
routine.
It's like a screenshot from that Disney movie. What's it called?
Zombies?
Well, no, not that one. But yeah, maybe. Oh, what's it called? Like the villains. With Dove Cameron and
God,
Descendants.
Yeah, the Descendants. I just feel like they're all gonna start doing some weird like shoulder motion, like a.
But I forgot there's werewolves and zombies too. Okay, so
my god,
the Werewolves game pack came out, and they look.
I can't stop laughing at this picture.
Some people say they look like cats. I say they look like they're ready to go to a furry convention.
The girl with the plaid skirt. I mean, it looks like a dude in the skirt.
They all look the same. You cannot. I mean, I suppose on one side that's a good thing. To other people, that might not be a good thing. But you cannot distinguish gender when they are in their werewolf forms. That is, there's no boobies. There's no hair. There's nothing that could tell you whether it's a girl werewolf or boy werewolf or both or neither. It does not. They all look
like Thundercats.
Oh my god, they do look like the Thundercats! Thank you, Vanity, for putting that in my head. I'm
never buying this back.
No, look, listen. Let me tell you.
Okay.
They look incredibly weird. That is something that I have tried to put myself past, but unfortunately that has not yet been successful. I'm sorry.
It's the cutoffs for me. These cutoff shorts with the fishnets.
The shorts and stuff and the clothing looks great on a sim, but once you put them in it, you're just like, what the fuck? Thing is,
like, I'm loving these outfits.
They can also walk around without clothing. Huh? So they can run around without clothing.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can run around buck naked. I don't know how that works. Like, it's weird.
They tuck it in?
I don't know, and I don't want to figure it out, honestly. I gotta sneeze.
Okay, alright. I am ready. I am
So werewolves
Lordy
basically hang around in Moonwood Mill, and let me tell you, Moonwood Mill is beautiful.
Is it better than the stupid what are
yes.
vampires? I hate that place. Is it not dark and annoying and has 3 lots?
Yes, it's so much better than Forgotten Hollow. It's not dark and gloomy. It's a really nice kind of like forest setting. It doesn't have a lot of lots. I think you only have like 2 or 3 like lots where you can actually put houses down. But if you want a cabin in the woods, that is where you go.
See, like I feel like I want it for the cast. Is this other clothes that's on there? Are those cast clothes from
Yeah.
werewolves?
Yeah. It's a very kind of like grunge look. They look like the cast stuff is really nice. The hair is really nice. They got some really nice jewelry, like rings and stuff that come with it that I really like one of those like pointer finger rings that I really like. There's some really nice stuff in there. It's just they look weird. They
So
look
I can't
weird.
disable Parenthood because of the cast, but God, I hate that pack. And now I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah. So, but Cass on point, New World on point, Moonwood Mill is gorgeous. But since we're talking about werewolves, let me tell you about the werewolves. You can become a werewolf in Create Sim like any of the other occults, and you can have a lot of the presets that you can choose, like fangs, the faces, the ears, the claws. You can also use kind of like a similar customization to cats and dogs where you can like draw on them in different colors and patterns. And the things I have seen, rainbow werewolves, galaxy werewolves, I don't, just things that I'm like, what the fuck are you? Because you can just paint on them.
well, they all have linebacker backs, so
I mean, you can just paint everything you want, every color of the goddamn rainbow. You can make a Skittles werewolf, like if that is what you want, you can do it.
not a Skittles werewolf.
But you can become a werewolf by making them, or you can have them be born. As in Sims 3, there's a 50-50 chance to be a werewolf if one of the partners is a werewolf. If both of them are, then the child is guaranteed to be one. You can also contract werebees.
I'm sorry, what?
Werebees! It's like rabies, but for werewolves.
I hate it here. I hate it here so much. Fuck is where? What are they gonna start foaming at the mouth?
There's actually warnings about werebees, like around Moonwood Mill. Like, be
Shut up!
careful.
It's in like little text alerts.
Yeah. So, if they are accidentally bit by a werewolf or they're exploring the underground, they can catch werebees, and if left untreated, it'll convert them into a werewolf.
Oh, okay. So werewolves don't contract werebees. People contract werebees.
People contract werebees, and that's what it's not like lycanthropy, it's werebees.
It literally sounds like what is it? Werebit? That's that bread sandwich thing.
I don't know what that is, but to me it just sounds like baby Furby. Like baby furries. Werebees. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
It just sounds like someone gave up with the naming of that.
Yep, that's how it goes. Uh so the appearance. I've already said I can't get past it. They look fucking weird. So a Sim in werewolf form appears as an anthropomorphic wolf, having a wolf head and completely covered in fur, and they kind of look like the Sims 1 werewolves, except higher quality.
I don't. In this case, the higher quality does not help you at all.
Yeah, no, it just magnifies everything. It's just like I wish I could see less. No. So you can still go into create a sim and custom like your werewolf form if you are changed. Like if you catch werebees and you turn into a werewolf, your werewolf form is randomized, but you can still go into cast and change everything. So if you want to be Skittles Wolf, you can be. There's also the lunar cycle that was introduced in this pack, which I really like to an extent, because there's things like you can tell your kids to say goodnight to the moon instead of like when you're tucking them in instead of reading them to bed, which is super cute. You can moon bathe, you can stare at the moon together. The only thing that bothers me, yeah,
Do you get like a moon tan?
I don't think so. But you can moon bathe. And like the only thing that bothers me is the fact that you can't see the moon. Like if you zoom out and look at the sky, there's like no way to see the moon, which kind of bothers me, but whatever.
So we're just imagining that it's there.
Yeah, you just have to sort of pretend it's there. So the full moon is the phase of the moon that affects the werewolves the most, obvi, because it basically causes them to transform uncontrollably. You do not have a choice. You can transform by choice any other time. Where when it full moon hits, forget it. You're in it. But that's not the only phase that affects them. During the other phases, it'll also give them like benefits and skill gains. even in their human form. So they don't have to be transformed to like gain their skills faster and stuff. During a full moon, all the werewolves receive an intense anger moodlet that generates significant amount of fury. And fury is something that really that irritated the shit out of me. But basically,
Tell me more.
they get this intense anger moodlet. It generates a huge amount of fury, and once your fury reaches full, it's like that caster bubble with
Mm-hmm.
your like caster, like when you cast spells, it like fills up, and if it like fills up, something goes wrong. Well, this is the same with Fury. It's like this red orb, and once it fills up, you transform and you are in a rage and you can't get out. They will randomly just run around rampaging. They will randomly destroy furniture and break shit and could, I think, potentially also like pick fights with people. That's what Fury does. So during a full moon, you get that moodlet. It generates a significant amount of fury, and it will basically let you go into a rampage, and that rampage is going to last until around 5-6 a.m. until the moon is gone. Some of them are able to stop this if they are successful in using the Will to Resist perk. That's a perk that you can get, and that could potentially end the rampage. I have had in my playthrough a werewolf with like all perks, like I think top rank in the pack and everything, like full werewolf skill, and I have never had this work. I've never had the Will to Resist work. And he's gone into a rampage a lot, and it's never once worked. I don't know if it's a bug, I don't know if it's a glitch, I don't know if I'm just really unlucky at RNG. Well, judging by my mount collection World of Warcraft, I suck at RNG. But it's never once worked for me. So basically, the rampage, like I said, is when the fury reaches maximum level, it'll cause an uncontrollable transformation, and the temperament, the werewolf abilities, other emotional factors will cause werewolf fury to build up, and they will become enraged at maximum fury and will uncontrollably destroy objects and randomly utilize any and all werewolf abilities they've unlocked. So if you've unlocked the ability to pee on the ground, that is a thing that you can do. That is a perk. That's a perk, Vanity. A perk. You can pee on the ground. You can sleep on the ground.
Wait, okay, hold on, time out. Do you just like start
Yeah.
peeing? Do you pull down your pants? Do
They
you just
just
like
squat. They squat, and the little like blur comes up, and they pee on the ground. It is disgusting, and that is one of the perks that I refuse to get.
is this like a male female thing?
Nope, they all do it. If it's a perk that you have to unlock, so you have to choose to make them do it, but then they can do it. And once they're in their rampage, if they have that perk unlocked, they're just randomly going to walk around the neighborhood and pee all over the place.
What other perks are there?
You can sleep on the ground, I think. Yeah. You can sleep on the ground. There's something about eating as well. You can like scavenge for food.
Like the freegans? Like the trash people
Yeah,
and
kind
the
of.
eco people, the eco
I think
thing?
kind of like that. So basically, you have ferocity in rank 1, which is you can intimidate other Sims for fun and profit.
Okay.
So I don't know what I don't know. I don't. Basically, it sends them fleeing with terror, and with any luck, they'll drop their wallet. So I guess you could just scare them away, and they'll like drop money or something. You can wolf nap, which is you can sleep anywhere on the ground using the wolf nap ability. Territory marking, which is leave a mark in the world and relieve bladder need. It's peeing on the floor. You can be a scavenger, so dig up lost treasures and artifacts. The personal grooming, where you just lick yourself, which I have a feeling if you wake up in the morning and you're like, ugh.
Do you only do this when you're in the werewolf form, or do you do this when they're just...
I don't know. I think that's something that you can only do in werewolf form, although I'm not 100% sure, because that is also one of the things that I never use, because I'm
Did you
like...
have a random sim to start like licking their own skin?
Yeah, probably.
Gross.
I don't think she's going to want to buy this pack, guys. In rank 2, you have Voracious Hunger, which means you can devour objects to satisfy a hunger. You can eat the couch. So, yeah. Fiber.
You can eat your couch?
Yeah. You can learn to hunt for food with the Hunter perk. You can have the Will to Resist, so that's a perk that you have to buy. You have enhanced smell. So if you can do the hunter, not the hunter, the scavenger, so to dig up like lost treasures and stuff, you can combine that with enhanced smell, and that'll show you the exact spot where you should go and scavenge to get something. There is somber howl. It's a howl that reduces fury. And then there's the rank 3 abilities, which is Lunar Blessing, which gives you extended benefits from the lunar cycle. Night Vision. Natural Healing lets you recover from injuries more quickly, like if you get into a fight with another werewolf. The Pack Howl to fulfill social needs. Curse Bearer, which means you can turn other Sims into werewolves via Curse Bite, so that's a perk that you have to buy. And it's rank 3, so it's quite high up. Then there's rank 4, which is the Vicious Howl, which basically scares everybody nearby. You can lead a group hunt with a hunting party perk. There's Lunar Resistance to protect against the moon's harmful effects. So basically, if you have the Lunar Resistance, it can basically stop you from going into that full moon frenzy, I think. There's Tunneler, which means you can travel around the world by digging tunnels.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And then there's Primal Instincts, which means you can tap into your instincts for a quick confidence boost. Then there's rank 5 abilities, which is Super Speed. Alpha Wolf, which lets you win most fights and challenges against other werewolves. There's the Immortal Wolf, which lets you live forever. There's the Lunar Howl, which basically lets you change temperaments of people around. There's the Legacy of the Lycan, which can turn ability points into satisfaction points. And then there's dormant abilities that sort of like come up when you do certain things. So you get Transformation Mastery once you've gone through a transformation without scaring. So basically, your Fury Induced Rampage without scaring a sim. If you can do that, then you unlock the Transformation Mastery and you can basically transform at will. There's Werewolf Diplomacy. So if you successfully ask for werewolf sympathy from non-werewolf sims, you get that one, and that can basically get you allies. Because I think werewolves in this particular game pack, I think, are not well received.
I mean, would you real receive this mob of
I
freaking
mean,
High School Musical rejects? I wouldn't.
they're
I
like
wouldn't want them
so
either.
weird. It's like High School Musical furry edition.
What are you about to do? Are you about to break out in a song, or are you going to eat me? Which one are you doing? Either way, I don't want to listen to. I don't want any one of that to happen.
I don't know. There's Werewolf Mentorship. There's Werewolf Menace. You can scare Sims without feeling guilty about it. There's Werewolf Empathy and Lunar Epiphany. And I think that's the one that you need to read Ancient Werewolf Writings, which is something that you need if you want to access my favorite part of this pack, which is amazing, is the lore. This bitch is full of lore.
I'm triggered. All I can think of is ancient writings by a wolf, and I'm being triggered.
Yeah, so there's a whole
Fuck you,
bunch of
soulless.
new. There's a whole bunch of new. Fuck you, so. There's a whole bunch of new like werewolf themed books that you can find secret messages written in. There's a journal you can find that has a cure. There's artifacts that you can find that have like this whole backstory that you can unlock about something. There was a war between the vampires and the werewolves, and then the casters got involved, and somebody used cout plants, and it's bonkers. Honestly, for me, the most fun part of playing a werewolf was just like finding all of the bits of lore and putting them together. I fucking loved it. Fucking loved it.
I mean, that sounds awesome. Like I said, I'm a little triggered by lore written by a wolf.
Yep.
Little
I
triggered.
get that. I think we both have that same trauma.
We'll never forgive you for that.
Fuck you, Solus.
Fuck you, Solus. How dare you make me listen to your fucking diatribes when you steal from me?
You asshole. Anywho.
Sorry, just the rage happens every I just get little ticks of rage.
There's also your fury meter is going up. There's also temperaments. So each werewolf has their own temperament once they're transformed, and these temperaments show up below the fury meter in the needs panel, and they have different aspects that can trigger werewolf's fury to raise. They can be when you're flirty, or when you're consumed by guilt, or when you're prideful. Their traits can determine it. I think I had one that loud noises, like the TV or music or whatever, would cause their fury to raise, and it was annoying because it was everywhere. Like, I literally couldn't take him to a bar because his fury would go up because the music was playing there constantly, and it was annoying. It was
Look,
annoying.
I relate.
There's, I think, a total of 22 temperaments, 18 of which appear naturally. The other 4 can only be accessed through the lunar howl ability. So, I don't think I've gotten
Okay,
that
so
many.
like I feel like parts of this sound really cool. The lore, these different kinds of howls,
But yeah,
but then parts of it just seem ridiculous.
like the werewolves.
Like the actual werewolves
And
themselves.
the peeing on the ground.
Why are we why are we
I
doing this?
don't
A-
know.
And
I don't
I'm still very,
know.
very much concerned about the like practical, like the application of this. Like, how is this actually working? Is whatever. I don't want to dig too deep into that. I just, there's a lot of, I just feel
There's a special flirty moodlet if you woohoo with a werewolf.
Beauty and the
I'm
Beast.
just putting it out there. If you want to figure out what it is, you're
Wait,
gonna have to buy the pack.
a werewolf and a werewolf, or a sim and a
Well,
werewolf?
summon a werewolf.
You find that attractive, guys? Could you? That's
We're
scary looking.
not kink shaming in this
We're
household.
not kink shaming, but these guys are terrifying looking. Like you,
I
like
know.
those broad shoulders alone just coming at you.
Listen, if a werewolf has a dog as a pet and the werewolf howls, the dog will howl back. Yeah, which is adorable. Because I have a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel in real life, and I made one for my werewolf. And the werewolf howled, and the little Cavalier went, "Oh, he's so cute!" My heart. If you have the vampire pack, werewolves have an array of unique vampire topics that they can talk about.
Can they kill Vlad?
Uh, they can try. They can range from favorably comparing werewolves to vampires to debating the treachery of vampires and pointing out downside to vampires. Because I think automatically, if a werewolf and a vampire meet, they start with a negative social bar because they don't
Where
like
you
each other.
going, Loca?
Yeah, they do not like each other. And the funniest fucking thing, you know, when they start calling you up, going like, "Hey, I've been thinking about going on a date with this person." Like, literally, the first fucking thing who called me was one of my pack mates asking if they should go on a date with Caleb Fator's brother. What was their name again? Oh, sister. What was their name again? Lilith Fator.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's like, yeah, sure, go ahead, Let's see. Ow. Oh, I banged my
you hit
finger
your
on the
finger,
desk.
didn't you?
Yeah, I did. See, this is how angry that made me. It's like, what the fuck? All right, no, that's fine.
I just feel like this is giving me very much Twilight vibes.
Yeah. Still, though, if a child is born with 2 werewolf parents, they could inherit the lycanthropy trait in 3 different ways. They can become a regular werewolf, a greater blood werewolf, or a dormant werewolf in which they will carry the werewolf gene. The dormant werewolf gene can later activate their lycanthropy by swimming in the lake in Moonwood Mill under a full moon.
What is the greater blood werewolf? That sounds
I don't know.
fun.
I haven't figured that one out
Is
yet.
that like
I think you start like with
a
a
master
higher
woo?
rank, like maybe like a higher rank unlocked. I don't know.
I do love good nepotism, you know?
Maybe
I'm a pure blood.
they won't
I'm a
be able
Malfoy.
to. Goddamn. They won't be able to access their werewolf abilities until they become teens, but toddlers and children can be taught to howl by their parents. And they will occasionally receive unique angry moodlets such as beastly gross birth or new fang pain. They are going to teeth, and children can accidentally break shit while they're using them because they're coming into their new strength, which I think is adorable. Like, my toddlers getting angry because they're like teething was hilarious. And I'm like, I wish I could just give you something to chew on. Like, why didn't you give us that? Just like give them something to chew on or have them chew the furniture.
All I can think of is how much I hate the parenthood pack and how much like I hate when the kids get there like I just hate everybody.
Yeah, but the
And
new
they go like
fang
and then
pain.
they go like fucking fling themselves onto their bed or go hide in the closet and cry. I could imagine that as a teen with all of that angst, and then now you're gonna also be a werewolf.
You're
Fuck
gonna
it,
throw
I'm out.
yourself on your bed and your bed is gonna shatter. It's like,
I'm
ah,
out.
fuck.
And they just get on the bed and they're going to the bed.
Well, if you're not a fan of this whole lycanthropy thing, you can cure them. So basically, you need the Lunar Epiphany Dormant ability, which is what you need to read all those ancient werewolf writings, and that'll tell you how to create a cure. They have to obtain 3 moon petals and 9 wolfbane flowers. So the wolfbane can be found in Moonwood Mill, but the moon petal can only be gathered on a full moon. So you have to go to the top of the mountain, and there will be 1 moon petal plant there, and then you can only pick them during a full moon. So by the time you've gathered 3, it can take a while. But you can also find them while scavenging. So that's also good. So after you basically have all of that, you can make a glass of wolf be gone at the bar. It's basically the same as the vampire cure. Toddlers and children can't take the cure, but they can drink it when they're older. So, are you ready for some werewolf trivia?
Woo!
Werewolves always have fur in their beast form.
We know.
Yep, there is a temperament on not getting enough sleep, which affects both forms. Werewolves who can get pregnant in beast form, and they can freely transform while pregnant. Have not tried, do not want to.
I still don't know what that looks like.
That is just a whole collection of kinks I don't want to get involved with. Werewolves appear in the beast form when they're transformed, and their rank displays in their info for their relationship panel, so you can see what rank they have. Like, I think it's like alpha and beta and whatever, I don't know, can't remember. NPC werewolves do sometimes transform back. They will transform when another werewolf initiates a sparring session. So if you want to get into a sparring session with an NPC who's a werewolf, they will transform. Players can limit NPC werewolves from transforming in the pack settings game options, so you can turn it off. They can acquire the super speed ability. They can howl anytime they want. However, if the werewolf howls too much, they will cause themselves to get a sore throat.
They can have some tea for their sore throat.
A lozenge, some lemon and ginger. The werewolf ability allows the sim to sleep on the ground wherever they are, and this is not restricted to werewolf form, so you can also sleep on the ground in your sim form.
It's giving me very much basic training vibes.
They can teach their toddlers and children how to howl, which is adorable. They're immune to dying from a cardiac explosion, since inexperienced werewolves often lose control and become enraged. I guess the cardiac explosion is how you die when you get like the extreme angry emotion. I don't know. I didn't know.
Yeah, your heart explodes.
Jesus Christ. Okay, I've never had that happen before. Werewolves have a chance to break appliances they're using, such as sinks, toilets, refrigerators, etc., due to their supernatural strength, and when they break something, they will gain a stronger than I thought plus 110 smooth lit. This happened to me all the time. Like, my dude was a werewolf and he was constantly breaking shit, and his wife was just constantly going around fixing shit. She got her handiness to 10, which was great, but she constantly had to go around his ass, like behind his ass, fixing shit, like the sink, the shower, bathtubs. Like, motherfucker, again? So yeah, that is werewolves in The Sims 4. Is it worth it? In my opinion, yes. For the cast, for the new world, for the lore, yes. The werewolves themselves, for me personally, I'm probably not gonna play them that much, because it just feels like a life state that you have to like devote a playthrough to, because there's just so much to do. I haven't even mentioned the packs that you can join yet. You've got like the hippie wolves and you got like the punk wolves. I haven't even mentioned any of that yet, because that's something you need to go figure out.
Is Marcus Flex in one of those packs?
He could be. If he's a werewolf, he could be.
Fuck you, Marcus.
I hate Marcus Flex.
Not gonna join your werewolf pack or your gym bros. Leave me
Where
alone.
you join the pack, and then you constantly have to like contribute to pack resources and interact with pack members. And if you don't do any of these things, you can get kicked out. You get like a formal warning, and then they can kick you out. It's just
that seems like way too much work.
It's a lot to maintain.
We don't cultivate real friendships that much. Like, I'm not doing that shit in my Sims.
Yeah, so you have to look after yourself. You have to look after your fury. You have to then look after the shit you have to do for your pack. For me, it was very overwhelming, and I don't think it's something that you could just casually add to any playthrough, because it takes a lot. My sim, because he had that one temperament where his fury went up when he got too many loud noises.
Mm-hmm.
constantly transformed and went on a rampage because everything was just too loud. And like, my dude, I get it. Like, shit is too loud for me all the time, but you don't see me stomping around town, biting people in the arm and pissing on the ground because shit's too loud. That's not how, but that basically my sim just constantly transformed because his fury bubbled over because shit was too loud. I couldn't go anywhere with him that had music, or he was just like, meh, too loud. So that was annoying.
What if you put the earbuds in his hair? Like, would he be better about that then?
That was worse. That was worse. That was absolutely, I didn't even know. That was absolutely worse because that was in his ear and just immediately went like, too loud. So yeah, that is, if you want to do it for the werewolves, and if you're like, this is something that I'm definitely going to have a lot of fun with, I'd say go for it. But is the pack worth it just for the non-werewolf related content? Yes, Moonwood Mill is fucking gorgeous. If you want to live in a cabin in the woods, that's the place to do it. The lore is amazing. The cast is amazing. There's some hair there that is just mwah. This beautiful dreads. I just love it. I love all of it. Except the way the werewolves look.
Oof.
If that is something you cannot get past, then maybe reconsider, because that's like what bothered me every time I had to play the werewolf. Like, no matter how many times I went into cast and like try to fix him, he just looks so fucking stupid.
I wish that they had an ability to turn off certain features but keep certain things. Like, I own Parenthood. I can keep the cast, but I don't have to. I can turn off actual Parenthood pack itself. Because that's the case. And I would buy all these packs, except for My First Pets, never happening.
No.
But, or the Bantu one, because I don't know about Star Wars.
Oh, I have that one and I haven't used it since I played it on stream.
But, like, I would be fine with that. Like, that's great. But
Yeah.
I want to be able to turn off the actual werewolves themselves because they seem like a lot of work. Like, as a person who lives in cast, creates 90 million sims, and then never actually plays them. Or if I do play a sim, I play a one person. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally I'm gonna have a one person household, play them, and they might get married, but they probably just be in a relationship that they don't actually live together because I don't want to have to control you, kind of a deal going through. It just seems like a lot of work. It seems like it would be like your full time job would be just being a werewolf. Which, how do you pay for your bills without cheating?
I mean, you still gotta work. You can work as a freelancer. It is possible, but I guess that just kind of adds to the difficulty of it.
I guess, I mean, for me, while I want the cast and stuff like that, it's not enough for me to. I got duped once, and I won't be duped again. Parenthood. So I just one of those things where, like, I hate everything about Parenthood itself, except for that there are certain little key aspects in there that I like, but for the most part, I hate the children. But I hate children, not real ones, Sims ones. But I realized that, and so I'm like, well, I'm gonna hate the werewolves. I'm gonna hate them every time they appear. I'm gonna hate that they exist in my screen. I'm gonna hate that they look like, freaking Thundercats and or like giant rodents. I'm gonna hate looking at them. So I don't know. I don't know if I don't. Maybe if it goes on sale, maybe I'll think about it. But like, I have other things to spend my money on, and I can't. I mean, I guess I don't have to actually make a werewolf, so I wouldn't have to actually see them. But then what's the point of the pack?
You can turn it off so that the NPCs don't transform, so you wouldn't actually have to see them. So you could live in Moonwood Mill and just enjoy the beauty that is Moonwood Mill and not have to deal with them.
I don't know. Like I said, so if it's on sale, maybe then I'll do that because then I know that I'm not gonna play
If the
the.
werewolf aspect of it really doesn't appeal to you, but the world and the cast and stuff does, get it on sale. But if you're like, these werewolves are my jam, I don't care that they look like the cats from the Cats movie, sure, fucking go for it. But then again, you probably already bought it. But yeah, like any of the packs, honestly, probably wait until they're on sale, because I think I always still think like these game packs, like $20 for a pack, is like a ripoff.
Exactly.
I get them for reviewing purposes, but yeah, if you're not on board for like the werewolf stuff, but you like having a new world and like new cast stuff and shit, just maybe wait for a sale. Or, have someone gift it to you or whatever.
I don't know. Like I said, I don't want to deter somebody from like not buying something, but as a going into this, having experienced werewolves in a previous pack before, and then having and comparing it to what I'm hearing in this pack, there are a lot of similarities between this and Sims 3. And then, but there are also a lot of great things that they expanded upon, like a lore purpose. But Sims 3 already had lore to
The lore for Sims 4 is really good. Not gonna lie. I really enjoyed it.
but I feel like there's a lot of things that they did that just made it harder to play this game.
Yes. What kind of annoyed me is that it feels like the werewolves in this pack are very selfish. Like, if you were a werewolf in The Sims 3, you could go out and gather ingredients that could help your friend who did alchemy or collected shit or stuff like that, which is fun. The werewolves here don't do that. Like, see, you missed an opportunity because they could go out and collect ingredients and come back with ingredients for like the herbalism skill. Because if you want, I haven't used herbalism because it's so fucking hard to get ingredients because you constantly have to go to the campground and then hope and pray that you find something you can use.
Yeah.
I don't use the herbalism skill because I never have the appropriate ingredients to make anything. And there's only so much mosquito repellent one can make. So and you can't plant these plants anywhere else. You don't have like the nose that you can put anywhere. It's annoying. So let your werewolves, when they go scavenge, let them fucking go out and hunt for collectibles to make herbalism stuff with. That would be convenient. That would be helpful for your other Sims. Now if your werewolf transforms, all you can basically go do is dig up artifacts, and once you've found all of those, that's kind of it.
Or you can dig tunnels.
Or you can go pee on the ground.
What is the point?
I don't know.
What was the reason?
Like I said, we don't kink shame in this household, but god damn why?
We're not going to kink shame, but also don't put your kink on me. So if I'm just walking past you and you're going to pee in the middle
I'm
of the
pretty
road,
sure they didn't do it on purpose, but I bet there's some people with very specific kinks who are very, very happy at this moment.
Exactly.
Which I'm fine with.
I'm happy that you feel seen and represented, but like my biggest thing about kink is you do what you want to do, but don't force me to be a part of it, either by witnessing it or being like, I don't want to be an unwanted bystander.
And the thing is, it is unnecessary because it doesn't do anything with like, oh, sure, you can sort of like, what was it that they called it? What was the name? What did they call
Market territory?
Mark your territory. But you still don't have a territory. It's not like if you mark a territory that none of the werewolves come in. Like they didn't use that with like the two clans that are opposite each other. Like if you're with one clan, you mark your territory, no werewolves of the other clan are going to come in there. They didn't do anything with it. So your werewolf is just basically peeing on the ground, just to pee on the ground.
Yeah, at least I mean, if it had a purpose, maybe I'd be like, oh, okay, sure. But like, you could like pee on the ground around your house.
That would be something that they would put in an expansion pack and not in a game pack.
You ain't wrong.
You know my feelings on game packs and content and stuff in The Sims 4. You know how I feel about that
just
shit.
be out here popping out these stuff packs too,
Yeah.
and I'm like, y'all can leave me alone.
Basically, for $20, you get a lot. You get decent stuff. But it depends on whether you enjoy the complete package. If it's just for the new world and the cast stuff and the werewolf stuff does not appeal to you at all, do not pay $20 for it. It's not worth $20. Wait for a sale. If the whole kit and caboodle is your jam, sure, yeah, $20 is a fair price. Like, it's not lacking. It's not that lacking. There's still some stuff where I was like, you could have added on to that. Like I said, scavenging and getting stuff that I could actually use. That would be convenient. But all in all, it's playable. It wasn't on release. There were bugs. So you couldn't see, like, there were the werewolves. It was just like empty clothes walking around, I think, or you couldn't see their heads or something. Yeah, there were bugs. I think that's been fixed now. But again, it was broken on release, as we are used to now. There's still aspects of high school that I can't play because it's broken. Anywho.
Good old boar. EA's tagline. EA 4.
Point being, If you like the whole thing, $20 is a fair price. If not, if it's just like a certain aspect of it that you like the cows in the world, wait for a sale.
If you're getting it wanting what Sims 3 gave you,
You're not gonna get it.
you're not gonna get it because
No.
like because what they're doing is they're piecemealing. When they gave you gave you like the magic one, and they gave you vampires. Now they're giving you werewolves. I'm telling you, if they come out with the fairy pack, I will fucking rage because what they're doing and what they're doing it is they're coming out, and each one of these are just game packs. They're not expansion packs. So when doing that, it's like you are giving people a glorified stuff pack because you're giving me the stuff for cast, which is great, and then you're giving me like a partially developed character.
Game packs are new to The Sims 4. I've been over this. Like in Sims 1, you just had the expansion packs. In Sims 2, they came out with stuff packs. In Sims 3, you had stuff packs and then the store. And then in Sims 4, you have the stuff packs, the game packs, and the expansion packs, and now the kits. So that's. I have feelings. I have feelings about this.
I had no problem with Sims 3 having stuff packs because I like Cass, and those stuff packs just give me more Cass
And like
stuff.
I didn't mind the store as much either because yes, there was stuff that added gameplay to your game, but you didn't have to get it to be able to play something else. It just gave you a new experience. If you wanted it, you wanted it. If you didn't, you didn't.
And you can buy worlds if you wanted them, like or
Yeah.
whatever it is. Like
Yeah.
that was cool. But and the stuff packs didn't cost. They cost like I think $10.
Yeah.
Like they weren't very expensive.
No.
So like I had
And
them all.
now you have a pack for vampires, which is $20. You have a pack for werewolves, which is $20. You have a pack for casters, which is $20. So you're already on $60. The expansion pack for Supernatural gave you vampires, werewolves, witches, fairies, zombies for $40. So if you're gonna add fairies, if you're gonna add a fairy pack, you're gonna spend $80 for. You're basically gonna pay double for something that you got in one pack.
And yes, you get new worlds, but literally the only world that I feel like you can do much in Glimmerbrook is beautiful, but it's
That's the thing that bothers me with all the new worlds that come out. Like some of them look gorgeous, but they're also very very limited. There's not a lot of like free lots that you can like build on or inhabit or whatever. Like Julia made an amazing speed build for Copperdale, the new one, the high school expansion. She made an
Mhm.
amazing speed build. But it was on the lot where the rental. There was a rental there, a rental place, a rental house that you could rent and go on vacation. Oh yeah, let me go on vacation to the place where the high school is. Sure, it would be fun if you could like go to the carnival and stuff, but like I don't. It's not really a place where you would want to spend a vacation. I don't think. So I had to demolish the rental to put the house down there because there wasn't another lot that could hold it.
I just feel like the lots that were good walkable lots and good lots came with like base game.
I think that they started actually really expanding. I think the neighborhoods and stuff that you could do in the neighborhoods. For me, starting with Snowy Escape, because there were like the festivals that you could go to, but you could also go for a hike. You could go to the shrine. You could go swim in the river. There was stuff to do in your immediate vicinity. You didn't always have to travel to a different part to actually be able to do something.
For me, it was city living, but because that's when festivals came too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I will probably get this pack on a sale when I want to
Yeah,
get like a
I would
combo
advise
pack.
you to get it on sale because I don't think you're specifically going to enjoy the werewolf content, but I think you're going to love the cast and I think you're going to like the new world. But get it on sale, girl.
I'll
Save your
do them.
dollars.
Save my doll hairs. All right,
So yeah, that's it for werewolves.
fun times.
Yeah, we got to record together again. It's been like
I
forever.
know it's been so
I miss Mars though.
long.
She needs to come. She needs to
Yeah,
hurry up and come back.
Mars, come back.
We miss you.
We miss you. Okay. Well, that being said, follow us on all of the social medias, I guess.
Yeah, all of them.
All of them.
Like Instagram and Twitter, which is PlumUpcast,
Mm-hmm.
and Reddit is PlumUp Podcast. Facebook and Tumblr is under the PlumUp Podcast. We have our beautiful website that Julia made, which is
Yes.
plumbopcast.com. And you can also have a contact form there that is no longer in Swedish. Or you can email us at undertheplumbobpodcast@gmail.com.
I forgot it was in
also have merch. So that should be in a link in the description.
Merch.
If you want some stuff with our shit on it, I
With a
think
cool new logo and things like that. It's nice.
yeah. Plus, I think we have the International House of Disaster or International House of Problems.
Yeah.
We have that, which is super fun. Which is definitely a shirt or something that I want on a shirt because that is my life.
Exactly.
Yeah. There's a lot of rainbow motifs. There's an apron that I really want, which is lovely. There's hoodies, there's t-shirts, there's hope for the best, prepare for the worst,
which
and
is
fly through
my
the middle.
favorite.
Yeah, which is so cute. I really need to get me one of those. There's so many things that I want. There's masks. There's the International House of Problems that I really love, and totes. You can get it on a tote. You can get it on a shirt. You can get it on a mug. There's just a lot of stuff.
Support your gals.
Yeah.
And show off your love of The Sims and of the Plum Bob.
Yeah, also if you can, get you one of those hoodies because I heard they're soups comfy.
I'm getting one, but I can't make myself buy a hoodie when it's 100 and
yeah, me neither. I think when I get my end of year bonus, I'm gonna get me one of those hope for the best, prepare for the worst hoodies and
exactly.
International House of Problems shirt.
All right, and then if you want to let people know how awesome we are, you can definitely subscribe, rate, and review. If you do it on Apple Podcast, those are nice.
You could also give us 5 stars on Spotify now if you want.
Yes, you can do that now too. And then Apple Podcasts, you can, if you give us 5 stars, also leave a review just because that makes the algorithm work. Yeah. You can just say Awoooo if you would like.
Please don't.
That's fun. That's how I know that you're there. But whatever you want to do, we appreciate you. You can also be part of our patron. I always say that wrong.
Patreon. We have a Patreon. You could get bonus episodes. We have bloopers. Julia, Jessica, and I did a Spooky Tales episode. I think Caitlin and Julia and I did a true crime episode. If you want to hear me talk about the Yuba County 5, hear Caitlin talk about the Diet Left Pass incident, you can go and listen to that. Those are all little bonuses that you can get. And you also get to talk to us on our Discord. So if you want to come tell us to our faces how amazing we are, you can do that. But we also post pictures of our pets. So if you want to see how cute my cats and my dog are, you can come on our Discord and ask, Ava, show me pictures of your pets.
Or how fat my cats are.
I might have a couple thousand pictures to show you, so.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Yeah.
Thanks for plopping this in the script. Was it Jess?
Jen.
You're a peach and a pearl. Love you.
Love you.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for being around and sticking around. And
don't forget to save your game. Drink so much water.
Wash your damn hands.
Yeah, still do that.
Just always wash your hands. Don't be grossy.
Yeah, don't be gross.
And remove your mods before you put in a new pack.
Yeah. Yep. For patch day, remove those mods. And now we have to go back to the real world where it's hotter than a witch's tits.
Hotter than a bitch outside. All right. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye.